Hello guys, welcome back to Faith Movies. Today's movie recap will be a romance and drama movie from 2008 called Fireproof. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Fireproof is a movie about fixing a marriage by understanding the real meaning of love through spiritual growth and connecting with God. The title reflects the work needed to make a marriage strong enough to withstand challenges and stay true to the marriage promises. The movie opens with a flashback to 25 years ago, showing Catherine as a young girl living with her caring parents. She admires her father, a firefighter, and dreams of marrying someone like him to achieve her fairy tale ending. Now it's 2008. Catherine works in the public relations department at a hospital. She's married, and unsurprisingly, her husband is also a firefighter, just like her father. Catherine remains close to her parents, visiting them weekly to help with her mother, who had a stroke and can no longer move or speak. Catherine longs for the conversations they used to have. The cost of a new bed and wheelchair for her mother, which they can't afford, worries her deeply. Catherine is successful at her job, as is Captain Caleb, her husband. He excels at rescuing people from fires and accidents, risking his life to save others. He's admired at work and has a fun relationship with his colleagues. He trains new firefighters and teaches them never to leave a partner behind in a fire. However, at home, he neglects these principles, letting their marriage suffer. Their marriage, which began out of love, has been stable for about a decade, but now it's just routine. Catherine handles the bills, grocery shopping, laundry, and other housework. Caleb covers the mortgage and car expenses. Catherine feels that Caleb doesn't talk enough and spends too much time watching inappropriate shows online. She wishes he would spend money on home repairs instead of saving for a boat they don't need. He thinks she's disrespectful and ungrateful. They've stopped being intimate and don't feel listened to or appreciated by each other. Arguments and blame are common, even over simple matters. After such fights, Caleb vents his frustration on garbage cans, always noticed by his neighbor, Mr. Rudolph, adding a humorous element to the scene. Caleb confides in Lieutenant Michael, a colleague, about his marriage troubles. Michael suggests counseling, which Caleb initially finds absurd. Michael insists that Caleb should learn how to fix his marriage before deciding it's beyond repair. Michael is a religious man with a seemingly perfect marriage, though he has faced tough times before. Caleb is skeptical about the idea of counseling, but Michael's suggestion that putting in effort could fix things makes Caleb think. After a heated argument one night, Catherine declares she wants out of the marriage and throws her wedding ring into her closet. She shares her frustrations with her friends, who support her decision to leave, criticizing her husband for not truly loving her despite being a hero at work. Catherine's friends agree that ending the marriage is a good idea, while Caleb's friend Michael challenges his negative views about his marriage. The film shows both Catherine and Caleb complaining about each other to their respective friends. Catherine feels the marriage has never been good, while Caleb thought everything was fine until recently. She finds him insensitive. He thinks she's overly sensitive. She says he doesn't listen. He feels she nags too much. Both feel they are incompatible and struggling to keep the marriage together. Despite his marital issues, Caleb continues his job as a firefighter, saving lives. One intense scene involves rescuing teenagers from a car accident on railway tracks, just moments before a train would have hit them. This experience shows the courage of Caleb and his team. Meanwhile, Caleb talks about his failing marriage with his father, Mr. Holt, who involves Caleb's mother, Cheryl, in the conversation. Caleb is reluctant to discuss his marital problems in front of his mother, whom he blames for past issues. His father attributes the survival of his own marriage to God, which Caleb finds hard to accept. Mr. Holt suggests Caleb try a 40-day challenge called the Love Dare to save his marriage, though Caleb is initially resistant. As Caleb begins the challenge, Catherine grows closer to Dr. Gavin Keller, a colleague who shows interest in her, complicating matters. Caleb confides in Michael about the challenge, planning to keep it secret from Catherine. Michael emphasizes the lifelong commitment of marriage and uses glued salt and pepper shakers as a metaphor for the unbreakable bond of marriage, suggesting that separation could damage them both. The movie illustrates that a successful marriage isn't about avoiding tough times, but about how partners handle those times together, aiming to make their marriage fireproof. Despite Caleb's reluctance to accept responsibility for their problems, he receives a notebook from his father detailing the 40-day challenge, which includes daily tasks to improve his marriage, accompanied by motivational Bible verses. The tasks start with Caleb holding back negative comments, followed by kind gestures like making coffee, which Catherine refuses. Despite the setbacks, Caleb continues with the challenge, buying flowers and chocolates for Catherine, who is unimpressed. Amidst these efforts, Caleb enjoys lighter moments at work, like pranking a new trainee. Caleb shows his playful side around his coworkers. On the 4th day of his challenge, he surprises Catherine by calling her at work to check on her. She's puzzled but pleased, but her friends quickly suggest Caleb is acting nice to sway the divorce settlement in his favor. When Catherine finds Caleb deleting his browser history at home, it caused a fight about his inappropriate online activities. She accuses him of manipulating her for a better divorce outcome, which deeply hurts Caleb. Frustrated, he vents by hitting a trash can, watched by their neighbor, Mr. Rudolph. Catherine, feeling belittled by Caleb's behavior, shares her pain with her mute mother. Meanwhile, discouraged by the ongoing conflict, Caleb calls his dad, doubting the effectiveness of the love dare. His father advises patience and sincerity. At work, Catherine grows closer to Dr. Keller, who makes her feel valued with a rose and a note, drawing her away from Caleb. On the 18th day, Caleb sets up a romantic dinner, hoping to reconnect with Catherine. He prepares a beautiful setting with good food and music, but Catherine rejects him, saying she no longer loves him. Heartbroken, Caleb talks to his father, who meets him to remind him that struggles were part of his own marriage challenge too. Caleb is frustrated, feeling his efforts are wasted as Catherine dismisses all his gestures. His father encourages him not to ignore the spiritual messages in the love dare and to seek a deeper connection with his faith. Despite resistance, Caleb is told that real love is unconditional, urging him to pray for forgiveness and guidance. Encouraged by Caleb's renewed faith, Michael shares his own past marital failures and how faith helped him with his second wife, Tina. Meanwhile, Catherine, worried about her mother's medical needs, mistakenly thinks Dr. Keller paid for the wheelchair and bed, thanking him and inviting him to lunch. Caleb finds a note from Dr. Keller and confronts him at the hospital, warning him to back off. Dr. Keller, secretly married, rethinks wearing his ring after Caleb leaves. Catherine, unaware of this confrontation, is upset when Dr. Keller stands her up for lunch. Her coworker, Anna, warns her about getting too close to Dr. Keller, which makes Catherine feel her privacy is invaded. In the days that follow, Caleb prays for his marriage, keeps the house in order, and excels at work. When Catherine falls ill, Caleb cares for her, prompting her to question the change in him. He explains his commitment to the love dare, which she knew about, and begs for her forgiveness, confessing his deeper understanding of love through faith. Catherine requests time to think. 3 days after the love dare ends, Caleb continues his efforts to reconcile. Catherine learns at the care facility that Caleb, not Dr. Keller, paid for her mother's needs, sacrificing his savings for a boat. Touched by his gesture, she dresses up and meets him at his fire station, where she expresses her love and admiration in a red dress, surprising and delighting Caleb. They share a heartfelt moment, observed by a joyful Michael. Later, at a significant trail spot, the Holts join them for a reunion where Mr. Holt reveals that Cheryl, not he, was the one who saved their marriage using the love dare. Realizing his error, Caleb apologizes to his mother and they embrace warmly. The movie culminates in a joyful vow renewal ceremony, reaffirming their lifelong commitment. The scene closes with a symbolic shot of salt and pepper shakers glued together atop their wedding cake. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. Your support is appreciated. Remember, Jesus loves you. Have a blessed day and see you next time.